Hey, so there's hardly anything worse than being very busy, spinning the wheel, it seems, and not getting anywhere or moving much slower than you would expect. And you might ask yourself, why am I so slow? What's going on? If you're a network marketer, you are probably very busy, especially online when life is so fast. So I want to talk about a way to actually be doing less but achieving more that I quite recently discovered myself. And if we haven't met, my name is Edita. I'm a network marketer like you. Good morning, Mark. How are you? Nice to see you here. So I'm a network marketer like you. I love network marketing, but I hate prospecting. I don't like chasing people. I don't like pretending. I don't like all the methods of tricking people into, getting them to look at my stuff. And I was struggling until I found a way to get people to ask me for, about what I have, which changed everything. And that's what I talk about at VIE now. And if you would like to recruit new team members without having to prospect and feel awkward, grab my 3-step formula at viesnow.com/3 steps. And today I want to talk about productivity and how important it is if you want to achieve something, important, something big, if you want to achieve real results. And if you have any productivity tips to share with me and everyone else, please comment below, share them. And I actually I've been so busy for the last 2 years, like crazy. And what happened was that, so basically I kind of was doing well, really well, I thought. I had, a to-do list every single day. I thought I was so focused and, so engaged and so on. But then what happened was, like for all of us, the lockdown happened, and suddenly I lost the 3 hours, every day, the hours that my daughter used to go to the play school. And it wasn't even, she had been going to the play school for just a few months, but I already could see the benefits. That additional time was very good, and then suddenly I lost it. So that was tough. Then there was some other stuff going on, and these things are always evolving, and you have to reinvent yourself and so on. And suddenly the methods that I was using were not really working for me because I didn't have the same time anymore. And so first thing I did, I stepped back. I kind of paused everything. I decided for myself that, nothing is gonna collapse completely if I take a break and I try to get out of my own way and look at everything from the outside. So that actually, the tip number 1, if you feel stuck and confused and overwhelmed, sometimes it's a good idea to just stop and look at everything, from the outside, and to evaluate. So what happens to me eventually, so I did get some help. And with that help, I realized, I had thoughts about it before, but it was difficult for me to understand what exactly I should be doing with that reduced time. So the idea was, the thoughts were around, only doing the most income producing activities. So that's the tip number 2. Only doing the most income producing activities, or only the income producing activities. Now, if you are only starting, sometimes it's difficult to clearly see what those activities are. So obviously I got engaged into some training, into some mentoring. I did receive some help. and I started seeing much clearer what those income producing activities are for me. That helped a lot. And then what I did, and I only heard this somewhere in between, but somewhere that I had heard before but never registered, but this time probably my mind was ready for those kind of things, and I was in that kind of situation and was that kind of struggle. I needed that kind of help, and I heard this tip, only one thing a day. And I heard a story about somebody who was losing their focus by doing multiple things, many things, multitasking, getting overwhelmed, and somebody said, well, you lost your focus. So that one thing a day, what does it give really is, it gives you focus. If you put your mind, you put your mind to just that one thing a day. And the story went like, the story was saying that the person got the lesson that if this one thing a day takes 2 hours, that's how long you work. If it takes 6 hours, that's how long you work for, but only that one thing. And it's such a simple idea, and it's such a clever idea at the same time, because when you do multiple things, and sometimes, and I don't know about you, let me know if that's the case with you, but for me it used to be like, okay, I do these many things, I kind of feel happy about doing these many things, but then a few days later, sometimes 2 weeks later, I'm still doing all these things and not completing any of them. And when I moved to the way of working by focusing on one thing a day only, I actually started completing a lot of things. 5 days later, I have completed 5 things instead of, working on this, a little bit on this, a little bit on this, and a little bit on that, and so on. Instead, I started completing those things, and I actually started feeling, and it's still going on. So I think it started back in July, and it's still going on. I feel like I'm working less, but I'm achieving more. So I'm only focusing on, first of all, I gave myself the permission to pause and to think about everything and to regroup, to refocus my mind. Then I worked hard on identifying the most income producing activities for me. They are, if you're online, those income producing activities could be quite similar, but still there might be variations for all of us. And then third, just working on one thing a day, or if it's a big project that can't be completed in one day, then, well, in that case, I just work on that one project over a week, for example, whatever time estimate I give to that project. And now, ever since July, I no longer have a daily to-do list. I only make weekly to-do lists. So I only set 2 or 3 things, depending on the size, that I want to achieve in the following week. And then every day, the night before, I decide what I want to achieve tomorrow. And I only work on that one thing. Now, that's that one thing on top of all the daily little things, like, ongoing things like doing these videos and, maybe engaging with people, but there aren't that many. And the other little tip that I mostly schedule now, checking my email, and just try it for a couple of days. and you'll see that nothing is collapsing just because you don't check your email every 10 minutes or every hour. You know, life has got everything, almost everything that you get in the email can wait. If you know, you probably the most urgent things that your life might depend on, you probably are people you can reach by the phone, by calling them, or they can call you, text them, and so on and so forth. So I schedule checking emails, I schedule checking social media for the most part, and I was very good at that. At some point it's a bit kind of slippy at the moment, but for the most part I schedule checking social media, and other things that are not contributing are kind of ongoing but not contributing to those income producing activities. And I feel more focused, I feel more relaxed. Being relaxed is very important for your creativity and understanding what's going on and understanding your next steps. Super important. So if you want to try, and remember, sometimes it's very difficult to change certain habits because you kind of feel you're changing your life or something. But what I started telling to myself is that I will just try, right? I'll just try this for a week. I'm not saying, I don't commit to something like that, for the rest of my life. I'll just try for 1 week and see what happens, So try these things and try to identify those bigger things that you can focus on, just one single thing, a day, and it saves you the nerves, it saves you the effort and time, the mental energy and whatever, especially if you are struggling to find, time for your business. We are all in different situations. So that was really helpful to me, and I hope it will be to you. Try it. Just try it. So thanks very much for watching this video, and if you did like this video, grab my 3-step formula, how to recruit new team members without having to prospect, without having to feel awkward, and actually to know the process that works the best for building a network marketing business. So it's at viesnow.com/3steps. Almost forgot to say that. Anyway, thanks again and have an amazing day, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye now.